Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become reality. Earl Nightingale.
Hi, bestie.
Hi, bestie.
How you doing?
I'm good. I got my pink drink.
You got a pink drink?
Yes.
I thought you said it was peach juice.
It's got peach juice in it.
Oh, it does. Okay, but it's pink.
Yes, it's a pink drink that I've added peach juice to.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
It is.
I cannot have any of that.
No.
Too much sugar and beverages are not worth the insulin.
I feel that.
Yeah.
But they make me happy.
Good. I'm glad you can have them then.
Thank you.
Yes. You know what makes me happy?
What?
Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh, I know. Oh boy, do I.
Oh my gosh, you're going to love this. So the other day I was at a wedding. I was photographing a wedding and I was talking with one of the grooms and he loves Diet Mountain Dew as much as I do. And so we bonded over that. Mm-hmm. And as we were walking over to the ceremony space, if you're hearing random bells in the background, that is also my cat playing with his toy. But we were walking over to the ceremony space, and he mentioned that he needed more caffeine, that he was, kind of hitting a wall. And I knew that I had an extra Diet Mountain Dew in my car.
Oh.
And my second photographer was moving the car, so I texted him, and I said, hey, bring me both Mountain Dews that are in the car. And so he brought them, and I gave the unopened one to the groom. And he's like, this is the best wedding present ever.
That's so you.
And I'm like, yeah, no, I knew it would be. I knew you needed it. So, and it was coming up to that time of day where I can't have any more caffeine. Right. So I knew that
it was a good use of the dew.
He needed it more than I did right then. So I gave him my dew, and he loved it. Every second of it. And I loved that couple, so.
I can tell, because you wouldn't give your dew to just anybody.
Oh, I would not.
No.
I absolutely would not. But we bonded over Diet Mountain Dew.
That's a great bond.
It was amazing. So, here we are to record for episode 9.
Yes.
It is called Primal.
It is.
And it aired September 12th, 2006. We're still in 2006.
We are.
But now we're in the fall of 2006.
Yes.
And it was directed by Colin Buxey. And it was written by, of course, our creators, and Martin Weiss and Johanna Stokes on teleplay, and Carl Schaefer and Martin Weiss on story. All that out of the way, we can start talking about our episode.
Yes.
This was a fun one.
It was.
So we opened the episode with Joe and Carter are bringing LoJack to Taggart because he got hit by a car. Poor LoJack.
Yes.
And then we head straight to Stark's office where Fargo is showing off some new tech. And he says it's basically Bluetooth for the brain.
Yes.
Yes. So he sticks it on his neck, and Stark makes the comment, it looks like a melanoma. Are you okay?
Carter makes that comment later.
Everyone makes that comment. Yeah.
What a very melanoma episode then.
Yes. No,
that's a lot of mentioning of melanoma.
So Stark makes the first comment that it looks like a melanoma. And then throughout the episode, everyone that sees it says the same thing.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So Stark says it looks like a melanoma, but it's Bluetooth for the brain. And the way Fargo describes it, instead of having to type or even speak, you can just think about a website.
God, I want that.
You do.
I think about that so often of like when I'm on a computer and I'm like, I just want to just use my brain to do the things instead of the click. That's usually when I'm like super energized though.
Wouldn't it be so cool to have that kind of tech so that if we're say editing a photo in Photoshop or whatever, and you just think, I wish that cast member weren't there in the background.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they disappear.
Or if I could be like, highlights down 50, shadows up 25. Like,
Yeah.
if I could just think it and it be done, ugh, I'd edit so quick.
It would be so quick. I wonder if that would be more mentally taxing, though. Good. Well, no, I suppose not, because you still have to think about it and then actually do it with your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
This would just be the thinking part.
Yeah.
You just look at a picture and be like, bam, and
Next.
it's done. That would be so brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, Fargo, let's come test it out on us. But yes, he is testing this tech on Stark, and
we find out it's like basically you see readings of anger.
Yes.
Was it anger, sadness, jealousy, and happiness?
See, I didn't look that closely at the
no,
monitors.
he says it.
Oh, okay.
And on one of the screens, Fargo points out that the different lines represent different emotions. Red for anger, blue for happiness, green for depression, and then he doesn't explain what yellow is.
Yes. We don't know. What do you think yellow is? If it's anger, happiness, depression, what would the other emotion be? Humor?
Boredom?
Stark, that's kind of depression.
True. Fear?
Fear.
Fear.
Because if you notice, the yellow really doesn't do anything.
It never does anything.
Yeah.
And also, who makes blue happiness?
I know. Isn't blue usually sadness?
Yeah.
According to Inside Out, it is.
And also always.
Yeah.
Like, literally color theory.
Yeah. And then yellow should be joy.
Right.
And then...
green should be jealousy.
Green should be disgust.
No.
But, in any case, these are what Fargo says these represent.
And Stark says it's a very expensive mood ring.
Yes. I did like that one, too. That's a funny joke. So then we head to Taggart's lab. That's when we really find out that they're bringing LoJack to Taggart to help him. He's a world-class veterinarian, according to Joe.
Yes.
And then Jack...
he knows more than any veterinarian.
Yes.
He's
and
like,
then Jack figures out that it's Taggart, and he's like, really? But Taggart really is. He's a cryptozoologist, but he's also just a zoologist.
Right.
You know, so he knows a lot about the animals and how to care for them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to fix LoJack with nanoids.
Yes.
Nanoids. And he shouts out Carl Carlson.
He does.
Which we love a good callback.
We do.
Joe and Taggart are getting closer.
Yes.
You can tell.
They have something going on.
Yeah. Because she says, see a tag.
See a tag. And just the way they're interacting the whole time is kind of like flirty.
Yeah, a little bit
Which
flirty.
is weird to me. Like, I don't know why in my brain they're very different ages.
They are very different ages.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, they absolutely are.
Like, he's an older dude, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
she's a young woman. She's probably in her mid to late 20s.
yeah.
And he's an older fella. He's probably in his late 40s, 50s.
Okay. I'm just making sure it wasn't just me.
It's not just you. And actually, they kind of say something a little. They kind of foreshadow it a little bit way late in the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are. They're getting a little closer because she calls him Tag, and even Jack notices that she calls him Tag.
Shut up.
And Taggart tries to intimidate LoJack. But then LoJack gives him kisses.
Yeah, I liked Taggart before, but this episode really just made me love him.
Yeah.
Like, this is the one that did it.
Oh, good. I do. I mean, I liked Taggart from the get-go, but...
Because I thought it was going to become sinister when he's like, I finally got you. And I was like, ugh. And then he's
kisses.
like, okay, fine.
Okay, truce. But only till you're better.
Right. I was like, okay. We're friends now.
Then we go back to Stark's office, and the brain Bluetooth seems to be working. So Larry, the IT guy, asks about computer problems, if he's been having any issues. And Stark's like, no. And Larry makes a joke. A very unfortunate joke.
Yes.
The Lorena Bobbitt virus.
Yes.
Which turns your hard drive into a 3.5-inch floppy. And he's very amused by this joke.
Very amused.
That was outdated in 2006.
It was, but it's still, once you look up who that is, it's still a story that's talked about.
It is, but it happened in 1993.
Right.
Okay, this joke is outdated, so far outdated today that honestly, if, say, a early 20-something were
Right.
watching this show, they'd have no freaking clue.
100%. Like,
No
I had to
clue.
look up who it was, and then I was like, oh, it's that lady.
Oh, see, I remember everything about the story. Because, I mean, I was in 7th grade when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
So,
was one.
yeah, shut up. But I was in 7th grade when it happened. So, like, there were jokes about it all through my high school days.
Mm-hmm.
But this joke was outdated. 100% outdated in 2006. And here we are now in 2024. This, and did not age well.
And also making a floppy disk joke.
Well, that too. Yes.
That also didn't age well.
No, again, a 20-something-year-old watching this is going to go, what is a floppy disk? Unless
Right.
you're really into, like, computing history.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. It's an unfortunate joke. But Larry is very amused by himself.
He is.
And even in the next scene, Larry is still amused.
He's still giggling at himself.
Stark is not.
No, his anger is off the charts, literally.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's just one big
Red.
rectangle.
Yes.
It's not even moving. And Larry goes to look into the problems, and
Into the,
I call them the ducts.
yes, they are the ducks, but I wanted to call them the Jeffries tube.
The Jeffries tubes.
Yeah, it's the Jeffries tubes that he's crawling through.
Got it. So Larry's heading into the ducts, or the Jeffries tubes, if you will. And Taggart and LoJack are reminiscing.
Mm-hmm.
Taggart leaves a canister open, though.
After saying that after all these years, attention to detail is what kept him alive. But alas, he was not paying attention to detail
No.
when he left the lid off of the nanobites.
Nanites?
Nanites, nanobots.
Nanobots.
Brain.
Yes. The bugs.
Both of those things combined into one word.
Right.
Nanites.
That's fine.
Yes.
And we can just call them the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they basically are at this point.
Right.
And they get out.
They do. Into the ducts.
Into the ducts that Larry is in.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Larry. And he gets attacked. Presumably by the nanites, by the bugs. Because it kind of like shows that it's like through the bug's vision. It's kind of like that compound eye vision.
Yep.
So we're just assuming that it's the nanites, it's the bugs that are attacking him. And we get back to Stark's office, and the tech, his brain Bluetooth tech, is bringing up things he doesn't think he wants to see on the internet.
Right. Websites about leadership.
Power.
And
Fame.
Fame.
Yes. I
Yep.
had to stop to look exactly what they were, because I'm no, I'm pretty sure that's what you want to see there,
Yeah.
Stark. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. Then we get another Buffy reference.
Because Fargo's kept bringing up Sarah Michelle Gellar fan sites.
Yes. Yeah, when he tried it out, he was bringing up those fan sites. And he said, which is, of course, not
I'm not
what I
into.
am into at all.
At all.
Fargo, we all know by now.
Just let it.
Everyone knows. It's okay. We understand SMG is so hot, and
Buffy is a great show.
Buffy
so
the Vampire
no judgment.
Slayer holds up for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a great show. Say what you will about the creator, but the show itself was fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay, Fargo. You can have a fandom.
Absolutely.
We understand. Stark hangs up on Fargo to talk to Allie. Because of course he does.
He gets a little flirty with her. Says, "Are you going to ask me to the dance?"
Mm-hmm. But no, she's there to do
Serve
something.
him divorce papers.
Yes. And she already signed them.
Yes.
So it's his turn.
And his mood shifts.
Yeah, it does. You don't need to see the readouts.
Nope.
No, because you can definitely tell. Then we get to City Hall, where they're setting up for a dance.
Mm-hmm.
Jack is using the old call me to get out of this routine, where he tells Joe to call him in exactly 2 minutes.
Right.
Because he's going to nope right on out of there.
100%.
How many of us have done this to get out of a date?
How many times have I done that to you when we're together?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Pull me out of this conversation in about 2 minutes." And you're like, "Okay, got it." And
Yeah.
then we start talking to someone and you're like, "Maddie, don't you have that thing?"
Yeah. You know, you could always kind of just be like, now is the time, and I'll make something up for you.
We need a code word.
We do.
But something like that I can slip into conversation. I can't just be like, "Milkshake."
I think it would be hysterical, though. You're just like, hey, clean socks. And I'll be like, oh, I'm taking her away now. Everyone would know what's going on.
100%.
But honestly, you would care. I would not. I'd be like, no, this is what's happening. Okay, bye. But yes, we've all used that trick. I've used that trick on a date where I have a date, like a blind date or an internet dating date or whatever, that I tell a friend, I'm like, hey, call me at this particular time. Mm-hmm. And based on how I answer is whether or not I'm leaving this date. Like, maybe it's going well and I don't want to leave.
Right.
And then I'll answer with, hey, I'm busy right now. Or if it's going terribly, I'll be like, hey, what's up? Are you okay? Mm-hmm. And then you make up something, and then we'll both make up something so I can get out of there.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's kind of one of those things where you don't know how it's going to go, so you need someone to, like, check in on you. Yep. But yes, Jack is using this tactic. I'm happy to see it. So we're at the dance setup, and Zoe is there as Spencer's band manager.
Yes. Give her a new patch. She lovingly and enthusiastically calls this new musician a mix between Moby and Devo. And I'm pretty sure both of those were outdated in 2006, right?
No, Moby was still kind of on the scene.
But Devo was definitely outdated.
Devo was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So
Moby was still around during then?
I'm pretty sure. He was, like,
he was in How I Met Your Mother in, like, 2000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moby was a big deal in that How I Met Your Mother, and that was 2010-ish.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So he was definitely, and I think, though, that's what Zoe is talking about, though, that it's kind of an old meets new kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
I think she's even saying, like, I don't think she thinks that Devo is current. It's just, this is what it reminds me of. Gotcha. Because even when he plays the music, and she's like, look, there's Moby. And then he plays, like, kind of a more 80s-ish sounding section. And she's like, and there's Devo.
Fair.
And honestly, she's right.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way they sound.
Yeah.
You can definitely hear both sounds in there. But when they're setting up, Henry's up on a ladder hanging a banner. And
with a new patch.
With a new patch?
With a new patch.
Oh, see, I did not notice the new patch.
New patch.
What is the new patch?
Coordinator.
Coordinator?
Yes.
Oh, we like that for Henry.
Yes. I feel like it also could have just said sound tech. Because he's setting up... Well, I guess he is setting up banners in this one.
Yeah, he's putting up banners right now.
Oh, yeah.
So he's, like, just basically party coordinator.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's our day of coordinator.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'd love him to be our day of coordinator.
Oh, no. No, he's far too scattered for that. He would end up blowing something up. It would be amazing.
Yes.
But I don't know if our couples would like that. But he is setting up a banner at this point, and the banner is of Lisa Meitner. And that's what this whole dance is about. It's about celebrating people like her's legacy, where it is a commitment to bettering the world, and that is the ideal that Eureka is striving to meet.
Yes.
And that brings us to this week's
Science Corner!
Science Corner! Lisa Meitner was an Australian/Swedish physicist during World War II. Okay? And Henry tells us that much. She was born in 1878 and died in 1968. She lived to the ripe old age of 90.
Wow.
So, yeah, she lived a long life and did a lot in that life. She was part of the team responsible for the discovery of an element called protactinium, and part of the team that was responsible for the discovery of nuclear fission, which ended up leading to the atomic bomb. Mm-hmm. Now, in the episode, they say that she refused to work on the bomb. I couldn't find that in any of my research, whether or not that was true or not, but we're going to like to think about that. She was of Jewish descent, living in Austria.
Wow.
During World War II.
Scary.
So she went through a lot. She had to escape Germany at one point. She went through a lot. She did not practice Judaism as a religion, but just because she had that descent, of course, it was a rough time. Rough time. That's the understatement of the freaking year. of the year. Oh my god.
She had it was a rough time.
It was a little tough for her. No,
it was a little stressful in Germany back then.
I really do not.
Please put that in the bloopers and not in the normal episode.
Oh, it's gonna be in the normal episode. All of this. No, I really do not mean to make light of the plight of anyone that went through all of this, but there's no way to really in words describe what they went through for someone coming from the point of view of 2024 who did not go through said things, so right. But anyways, even through all of that though, she was nominated 19 times for the Nobel in chemistry.
Wow.
She was nominated 30 times in 30 years. Wow. For the Nobel in physics. Want to know how many times she won a Nobel?
She's a woman, so I'm going to guess none.
0.
Bastards.
0. And there are a lot of people that will say that was an injustice. Like, it's not just, somebody else better won it. No, that was very much an injustice on the part of the Nobel Committee. Because for one of those, her partner that worked on all this stuff with her did win the Nobel. But she didn't, of course. And Einstein did call her the Austrian Madame Curie.
Oh, wow.
Because she was that smart and accomplished.
Yeah.
Though the Nobel Committee passed over her for a Nobel Prize, she did earn many, many awards and accolades during her career, and that is a testament to her mind, her spirit, and her grit. So we love a good woman in STEM.
We do love a good woman in STEM.
And, I mean, she dined with presidents. I know she was, like, in communication with first ladies, and she worked in several countries, several universities, and just worked with people and came up with so many different ideas that I can't even list them all here because it would take forever. And I also don't understand most of it. Quite honestly, I love science, but a lot of these things that she did take advanced degree to understand. So, super smart, super amazing, and honestly, just the perseverance to be able to live through that time as a woman, as a scientist. It's amazing. So I wanted to give her moment. So that was it in Science Corner.
That was a good Science Corner.
Yeah, thanks.
I like that one.
Science Corner.
Science Corner.
This is Rin coming to you from the future, and I just have to make a quick correction. At the beginning of Science Corner, I said that Lisa Meitner was Australian. She was not Australian. She was Austrian. So before you start sending the angry emails, know that I know I was wrong, and whoopsie, but here I am making the correction. Thanks! You really need to get on your dad about making us a Science Corner jingle.
I'll do my best.
If he wants to, I'll just record me singing Science Corner and he can put something around it.
Okay.
If he thinks that would be doable.
Well, he can probably make like a little stinger, and then you can just record Science Corner over it.
Okay. But he should probably hear me say, Science Corner.
Probably.
So just show him
Send
this
it in a
episode.
voice. Oh, yeah, okay.
Has he listened to any of these episodes?
I don't think so. I don't want him to listen to me do Smash or Pass.
So back to the episode.
Mm-hmm.
When he's talking with Henry and Zoe and all the people, then he gets a phone call. But it's not from Joe. It's from Allie. Allie's legit calling him.
Yes.
And gets him out of the situation.
It does.
Duty does actually call. So he needs to go. And we get to Global Dynamics, where Carter goes to investigate Larry's disappearance. He's missing. Nobody knows where he is. They know where he went, but he never came out. And Carter's talking about how maybe he took a nap. Maybe he took a siesta.
I love that whole scene.
I knew you would.
Because he said, the siesta is a dying art. And I was like, it is.
And then Allie says, napping is not an art.
Said, you haven't seen me nap. And I was like, I feel that. I think Dean and I, being the car nappers that we are, really understand that.
See, I can't say I consider napping an art, but it sure does feel good.
Naps are a dying art. They are a dying thing.
Yeah, true.
How long have you had this Global Dynamics sticker on your laptop? The whole time?
The entire time.
Wow. Hello there.
I have had that sticker probably for about 2 years.
Would you look at that?
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I've been obsessed with this show for a long time.
I love that for you. Love that for us.
So, naps are good.
Naps are great.
Naps are good. Taggart is going to go with Carter into the Jeffries tube because he wants to try out his new toy.
Yes.
I mean, he says that he and Larry were close.
It's like, 'cause we were close. You have a new toy you want to try out, don't you?
Yes.
I do.
Yes. So they go into those Jeffrey tubes. I called them the ducks in my notes, but I'm going with yours, with the Jeffries tubes.
Yeah, I like the Jeffrey tubes.
I like that better. Tag has his fancy goggles, but Jack is hearing something. Mm-hmm. And he tells Taggart to shut up. And Taggart says, "It sounds insectoid."
This does.
Insectoid. That's what he says. And then Jack says, "Is that even a word?" Taggart's not sure. I mean, again, I'm relating because I make up words all the time may or may not be words.
I mean, we both do.
No, everybody does. Shakespeare did. Why can't I? Because I'm just like Shakespeare.
You are. Just like him.
Totally. Then we get back to Stark's office, and he's mad. And that's really all we get there. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's mad. He's taking it out on Allie. I mean,
right. And Carter.
To be fair, though, Allie did just serve him with divorce papers. I might not be in a good mood either.
Right.
But Allie tells Jack about the papers, saying, this is why he's testy right now. Mm-hmm. And Jack, of course, is interested, but she's like, I don't want to talk about it. Okay, all right, fine. And then we see Larry come into Stark's office. But is it Larry?
Doesn't seem like it.
He's acting weird. And LoJack got out of his cage.
He did. How'd he get out of there, bud?
But then we see Larry's eyes glow.
Yes. And a buzzy noise.
Really, it was the glowing eyes that got it for me.
100%.
I was like, Taggart figures out that the bugs escaped and that they're not responding to the remote.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. They must be out of range. Okay, we got to get them in range. Mm-hmm. And Stark goes into a lab and is trying to deactivate the EM barrier.
The EM barrier that Allison just wanted to use to constrict the nano.
Right, to make them stay at Global Dynamics so they couldn't get out into the town or anything. And in this lab, I wish we saw more of this lab tech, this IT tech. I don't know. I like her. She's
Me too.
Cool. She's got a vibe. And I actually looked up the actress. Just because, I don't know, Vince thought he recognized her from something. He didn't know what, but he's like, the face, it's pretty distinctive. So I looked her up. It's Rukia Bernard. She has been in a lot of things, but I recognize her from, I think it's only one episode, but it's Supernatural.
Okay. What was her name?
Rukia Bernard is the actress name. But she was in Supernatural, and then she was also in Stargate Universe as Airman Richmond.
Okay. She looked familiar to me, too. Let me see if there's anything I know her from.
Probably. It seems like she's been in a lot.
She was in Van Helsing in 2016.
Yeah.
She was.
She was in Nancy Drew.
She was. That's cute.
I never saw that Nancy Drew.
Seems like she was in a few Hallmark movies.
Yes, she's been in quite a few Hallmark movies, I noticed.
I'm not seeing anything that I would, definitely recognize her from, but, she has one of those faces, so I've probably seen her. She's probably been an extra in a lot. Not an extra, but, a guest
one-off
character.
Yeah.
In a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh, she was in Cabin in the Woods. She was the lab coat girl.
Yeah, which there were a lot of those.
Right.
So she was probably just one of the people at the end.
Yeah, all of her, credits are, IT technician, barista.
Yeah.
Lab coat girl, babysitter.
Yeah.
Amnesia woman.
I want to be on something, and I want my credit to be Amnesia woman. Whether or
Girl
not...
with tampons in her hair.
What was that from?
A movie called Get Over It in 2001.
If I had tampons in my hair, I for sure would not get over it. I would be very, very upset by that.
Well, I'm sure they make great curlers.
As someone
She does not like this idea.
As someone who does not have enough hair to put curlers in and do not understand hair things, as well as someone who no longer needs to use tampons, this sounds horrifying.
I don't think it's like the plastic applicator that's in her hair. I'm guessing it's just like the cotton like they use for nosebleeds.
That sounds worse.
Why are you so scared of tampons?
Because I don't like... Why do you think I took steps to not have to use them? In any case, I like this IT tech.
Yes.
She's cool. But she doesn't last long.
No, unfortunately.
Unfortunate. Stark's eyes go all compound buggy, and she's scared. And that's all we know.
Right.
That's all we see. And
then we go back into the ducts.
The Jeffries tubes.
Yes. Taggart and Carter are still looking for Larry. Then they start to hear the noise.
Mm-hmm.
They know that the things are going to be looking for something with carbon.
Yes.
And they say...
living things.
Yeah. And Jack says, I'm a living thing. And Taggart's like, so am I.
Then we get back to Stark's office.
Yes.
And Allie's in there trying to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, give me some indication of how you're feeling.
Right.
So he just goes right up to her, kisses her, and it's hot.
It's hot.
That is a hot kiss.
The primal aggression is just...
And she's here for it, too. Like, she kisses
like,
right
she doesn't
back.
want to be, but she is.
Yeah, and it's steamy. There is chemistry there.
Yeah, you can see why they worked.
Oof. I got a little bothered just watching that, man. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a hot kiss, but his skin is cold.
Yes.
Which I don't think that's Stark.
No.
Mm-mm. Taggart and Jack find Larry.
What's left of him.
Rest in peace, Larry.
Poor Larry.
R.I.P. Larry. They also find a glowy-eyed copy of LoJack.
Yes.
We know it's a copy because his eyes are glowy.
Right.
And then the glowy-eyed copy of Nathan, not Nathan.
Yes.
Tries to assault Allie.
Right. But Jack's there with a gun.
Yep.
A laser gun. A Eureka gun.
Yeah, a Eureka gun. But he explodes.
Yes. Into millions of little dots.
Yep. But we also had seen Jack also exploded copy of LoJack. Again, copy of LoJack, not actually LoJack. But they find multiple Starks are trying to shut down the barrier.
Yeah.
All at once. Because you need 3 people to do it in 3 separate locations. So these bugs have made 3 copies of Stark so that they can all do it.
And they say, why did they stick with Stark? And Taggart's like, because he's a perfect specimen. And Jack's like, I wouldn't say perfect. And he goes, have you seen his abs? And I'm with Taggart. I'm with Taggart on this one. I do find, I find Stark to be the hottest. Like, I love Jack. But I do find Stark to be the hottest of the characters.
He is a very attractive man. Yeah. I mean, objectively speaking.
And I love power, so.
Yeah, I know. We've discussed. Then we cut to commercial. And when we come back, we see an army of Starks.
Yes.
Marching down the street. So they got out. They successfully shut down the barrier. They got out. Army of Starks is marching down the street.
Many fantasies occur.
And then I also love the line, and just for the alliteration, no one gets outside until every Stark is stopped.
Yes, that's great.
I just like the line.
It's a good line.
Very well written. Jack is now mad about being back in the mainframe ducts inside the Jeffries tubes. He's like, I don't ever want to come in here again. They're looking for Stark, the real Stark, and they find him.
Yes.
And he's asleep.
He was napping.
He was the art of the nap.
The siesta, man.
He is connected to the bugs, though, we find out. Because what he is dreaming
is what
the bugs are doing.
Because
that's the instruction that their programming has now been given.
Yep.
And so Jack asks Stark what the overall theme of his last dream was. Mm-hmm. And Stark is kind of wandering around, beating around the bush about it.
Right.
But the long and the short of it is he was dreaming about world domination.
Yes. You dream about world domination? Not all the time.
Have you ever dreamt about world domination?
No.
No, me either.
You know my dreams, though. I'm usually busy dodging a terrorist attack.
So world domination, but you're not the one dominating.
Correct.
Got
I'm
it.
just trying not to be dominated.
Right. But we found out that to stop the programming in its tracks, we have to transmit an ultra low frequency loud enough to make them kind of like stop and become one cell again.
Yes.
So they can't communicate with each other anymore.
Yep. And they need a super powerful speaker.
Yep. And Jack remembers Spencer's speaker.
Because bigger isn't always better.
You keep telling yourself that, Spencer. No, it is true, though. In many ways. And Jack and Allie and Stark and Fargo and everybody, we all go to where the dance is so that we can utilize Spencer's speaker and music in the super low frequencies.
Yep.
And they're trying to get Stark to bring all the bugs in Stark form, the army of Starks, to the dance hall so that they can play the sound for them and defeat them, right? First, Jack just tries insulting Stark, but it's not working.
Right, because Stark, logically knows what's happening.
And he's
Taggart
far too...
says it's all ego, no id.
Exactly. Stark is far too confident.
Right.
To believe these mean words.
And we know that the transmitter is controlled by the subconscious, not the conscious. So his subconscious needs to be activated.
Right. So Jack comes up with a good idea and asks Allie to dance.
Yes.
She starts to lead.
Which is hysterical to me because that's you.
It is. Out of habit. Yeah, I relate. Because anytime a man asks me to dance, I'm the one leading.
That's hysterical. Do you let Vince lead?
No. Oh, absolutely not. All we would do is sway. I need to be the one to lead.
That's so funny.
Yeah. No, but he lets me because he knows I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not the one, making him do the girl part.
Right.
I do the girl part, but I'm the one calling the shots. Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Then Jack smooches Allison. And
it's a hot kiss.
Hot.
Yeah.
It is. Allison is just getting all the smooches.
Yeah, she's getting all the good attention today.
Yeah. She's getting all the kisses, and they're good kisses.
And the compliments, the way he talks to her, and she's like, I know what you're doing. And he says, I mean every word.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I know. This, I'm usually not here for, a love triangle, because usually it's real cringy, and it's she obviously likes one person better than the other or something.
Right.
I don't like love triangles in my TV shows a lot.
Yeah, I don't either.
This one, though, makes sense.
This doesn't feel like a triangle so much, because she just wants to be with Jack.
Well, but then she's got her conflicted feelings about Stark, too.
Because there's the chemistry there still.
But it makes sense.
Right.
So this love triangle I get, because she is really actually torn between the two men, and you see kind of through her eyes, that it is, I don't know which one, because, yeah. So I'm kind of here for this love triangle. And then Jack grabs her butt.
Yep.
And that's what angers Stark.
Yeah, he says it's not working, and then Joe on the radio says it's working.
And he summons the army of Starks, and Fargo, when they enter the room, Fargo thinks that the Stark army is a miracle. Which I get, but I mean, it's pretty obvious here that Fargo is a little bi for Stark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he wants to be Stark.
He does.
He wants to have the same the characteristics that Stark has that makes him successful.
The charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the, I don't know. The power and
the confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, all those things are things that Fargo wants. And Fargo very, very much looks up to Stark, yes, but I think he's also just a little bi for Stark.
Yeah, I get it.
Just a little bit. And then all the Starks are in the room. They set off the sound bomb, I guess.
Yeah, the pitch.
Yep, and it works.
Yep.
And all the Starks are reduced to dust.
Nanites.
Yeah, to their little nanite form. So, somebody's got to clean all that up by tonight.
Right. They got a dance to get to.
Yes. And then we get to the dance. Everybody's looking nice.
Everyone looks very cleaned up.
Yep. Zoe noticed that Jack and Allie had some chemistry going on. She supports the potential relationship, but does not want to see her father make out ever again.
Valid.
Yeah, I can get that. It's no, Dad, I want you to be happy, but it's still icky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she still has some, like, mixed feelings of, like, my parents are divorced. Like,
Right. But really, even if it were her mom, I don't think she'd want to see him make out with
absolutely
anybody.
not. She's a teenager.
Yeah. Spencer and Henry rigged up the cool hollow fireworks show.
Yep, that was awesome.
That was really, really cool. And it looked good on screen, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do a good job with, they don't use, I don't think, a whole lot of computer graphics, especially in this first season. But what they do with purpose, and they do it right.
Agreed.
You know, Henry is totally the party planner. I mean, you already told me he had the patch change of coordinator. Yeah. But before you told me that, because I didn't notice, I was like, oh, Henry gets a new job title. It's party planner. But
we can put party planner too.
Yeah. Well, but those are the same job, so we'll just keep coordinator on there.
Valid.
Yeah. Of course, Vincent is going around worrying about the food, because that's how Vincent do.
Yes.
And Taggart says to Jack, oh, there's no explaining some relationships. Yeah. That's what I was talking about earlier.
That makes sense, yeah.
When you were talking about the age difference. Because there really isn't any explaining some relationships, because, I mean, there's plenty of relationships out there that are great, that have a large age gap, you know, between consenting adults that work out, you know. Yes. So.
That don't start when one is underage.
Correct. That's what I said. Between consenting adults. Right. I think
Between healthy consenting adults.
Yes. When I was 21, my biggest age gap, when I was 21, I dated a guy that was 36. Okay. And then I think when I was about 23, 24, somewhere in there, I dated another guy, I think, that was like 45.
Yeah, in my late 20s, I dated someone that was in their 40s.
Yeah. And it was fine. It didn't last, but yeah, it was fine. Again, both consenting adults. We liked some of the same things, and there it was, you know. Right. Then enter Joe. Right after Taggart says, no explaining some relationships, enter Joe, who asks Taggart to dance. Yes. All right. And Jack takes off his wedding band. Finally.
Right. I didn't even know he was still wearing it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I noticed, I clocked, like, in the first couple episodes that he was still wearing it.
I think I think Allison pointed it out in, like, the first episode.
Yeah. But I didn't, like, pay any attention since then. But, yeah, he takes off his wedding band, and LoJack comes up to say hi. And Jack is hoping that it's actually LoJack, but it is, and we love a good doggy.
We do.
He's a good doggy.
Good doggy.
Yes.
More fireworks.
And that's our episode. Yeah. I like this one. It's kind of inconsequential to me, but yeah. I mean, I love the Army of Starks.
Me too.
I think it's amazing. No one can leave until every Stark is stopped. But yeah, no, it's good stuff. But now it's time to play a game.
Games.
Smash or pass, Maddie?
Let's go.
Smash or pass, an Army of Starks.
Smash.
I knew you would.
Actually, I prefer to be smashed. I think I would be after an Army of Starks.
I mean, yeah, it's a whole army of them. You know I'm always torn, but I'm going to have to smash. Yeah. I'm going to have to smash.
You have to, just for the experience.
Yeah. What about Larry, the IT guy?
Pass.
Oh, pass. 100% pass. Sorry, Larry, but that joke just killed it for me. Like, right. You are officially creepy with that joke.
100%.
What about the cute IT tech?
I didn't get to know her enough.
Rukia Bernard.
I didn't get to know her enough.
Yeah, but she's got to be smart. And she's real cute. So, I mean, if we just happen to meet and she hit on me drunk at a bar, I might just have to smash.
Yeah, probably same smash.
What about brain Bluetooth?
Smash.
Smash. We discussed this. Mm-hmm. This is 100% a smash. And the last one I have on here, healing nanotech.
Correctly formed and, like, under control nanotech? Smash.
Oh, yeah. Not escaped nanotechs because Taggart left the lid open. Right. But, yeah. Smash. Yeah. I think that would be really cool tech to have.
Absolutely.
I don't know how close we are as a society, medically, whatever, to this technology, but shout out to Carl Carlson, and yeah, I mean, healing nanotech would do good things in the world.
It would. I want to look something up. Nanotech is actually already used in treating diseases.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So we're coming far.
Yeah. Like, it's not common.
Yeah.
But there is nanotechnology involved in medical fields already.
Oh.
Something to research later. I'm sure it will come up in another episode at some point.
At some point. I have no idea. I love it. Well, and this show, because of how, I mean, it does have some through storylines and stuff, but like relationships and everything, but it is very episodic.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times I forget when episodes happen. So as we come upon them, I'm like, oh, this was this early? Oh, that's when this happened.
Valid.
So it is. It's fun for me because I no matter how many times I have watched through this, I forget the order of events a lot. So it is fun to come upon an episode that I'm like, I love this episode. This episode in particular is just kind of like, okay, it's a good episode. It's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not enough Henry in it, though.
No.
All right. So that is our episode for today.
Madi and Rin are a pair of best friends and photographers and lover of all things nerd culture. We have no affiliation with the Sci-Fi Channel or the producers of Eureka.
We are having fun here. Everything we say is our own opinion and thoughts. Nothing is official.
If you want to contact us, you can email or find us on Instagram and drop us a line there. Our email address is youshouldwatchpod1@gmail.com, and on Instagram, we are @youshouldwatchpodcast.
Big thanks and praise, always, to John Eric Copeland for the use of his original song written for this podcast. He is the founder of From the Moment Music at fromthemomentmusic.com.
Thanks, Dad. Now, go follow the show on whatever platform you found us on, and tell your besties to listen. And until next time,
Bye besties!